We had that field trip where you guys went to a farm to spend the entire day, and they were just always the best.
Went to one
I'm
too.
pretty sure I've gone to this farm like 4 times throughout the time I've been in school. It was just that good.
No,
now,
you
there
know
was
where
a lot
I
to
went?
Come here, let me tickle your. I said, come here, let me tickle your.
I just revisited a core memory. Alright, man, here we are. We're here with another LoneE video. This is school field trips be like. Boy, I only went on a couple of school field trips, but the ones I went to, it was kind of cool. Let's check these out though.
field trips. Bro, everyone knows this, but school field trips were goated. Like, I know a lot of these schools would make us go on some lame field trips, like to the local park, the library, or even another school. But like, you can't lie, those lame field trips still hit. Anything was better than staying inside your classroom, and just the feeling of getting away from your class and walking, taking the public transport, or hopping onto the bus with your whole class just hit different thinking
Facts.
back on it.
Hey, chat. Let me ask y'all. Y'all ever had y'all ever went on a field trip where another school was on a field trip and y'all automatically started beefing because they had another school? Bro, one time the beef got too real. A few bitches from my school and another school started scrapping, bro. They started fighting. Like, the beef got too real. We don't even know who they were. It was a gang war, school edition, bro. Facts. Yeah, it got too real. She started scrapping when she started fighting with one of the girls from the other school. It was crazy. We went to what's that shit called? It's called, y'all ever been to medieval times? That shit was gas though. You know what I'm saying? That shit was gas. But y'all ever been to medieval times? Y'all know what that is? Please tell me y'all know what that is. Yes. Okay. Medieval times is so fucking fun, bro. It smelled like horse shit, but it's so fun. They had that big ass turkey leg. Oh my god. If you haven't been to medieval times, I would suggest checking it out. Renaissance, it's kind of like set in the Renaissance, but they do a whole show. They got a whole bunch of shit. You know what I'm saying? It was a good time.
I miss it, man. So today we're gonna be reminiscing on one of the best things that came from school and my personal experiences with them. So whenever our teacher would announce to the whole class that we'd be going on a field trip, the entire class would start getting hyped as if Super Hot Fire dropped some nasty bars.
Oh god.
Bam, bop, bop, boom, pow.
Then the teacher would hand out the forms to all of us, and when I would get home, I would instantly give it to my mom for her to sign it and give me money to pay for the field trip. And I'm not gonna lie,
I ain't gonna lie, some of them field trips started getting expensive, my nigga. Went to my mom with the field trip, she was like, $300. I'm like, yeah. And see, I was a kid. I ain't really know, you know? $300 for a school trip is crazy. Nigga, bro, to be honest, I was supposed to go to Paris, my nigga, on a school trip. My mom was not coughing up that bread. They said, I think it was like $900 or $1,100. My mom was like, you're not going. You're not going. 300? Yeah, them school trips used to be expensive, bro. Chat, I was school tripping in New York, nigga. Shit is always expensive up there. All that shit, it was always fucking expensive. Rochester High, fuck you, Majin.
these schools were taxing for these school trips. Like, a youngin' like me back then could only afford 10-cent pixie sticks from the corner store. Why is the school taking so much money from me?
Facts.
I wasn't a young baller like that. But yeah, I would hand in that form and be eagerly awaiting the day of the field trip.
And what's crazy is, they send you, you know what I'm saying, you need a certain amount of money to go on a field trip. And then you need money on the trip. They don't tell you that. Niggas give you $300 for the field trip. Then you get on a field trip thinking everything is good, is gravy. There's shit you can buy and all that. I ain't got no bread. My mom was not coughing up no more bread for this. She's not. I'm getting a bro. Getting their pockets is empty. Kaput.
Bro, when the field trip day came, I'd wake up like I was in some sort of Disney movie. The sun was shining, birds were chirping, I'd walk downstairs to see some delectable breakfast to eat, and then I'd be happily off to school. But when I wake up nowadays, I just want to go straight back to sleep, man.
Facts.
Life was just hitting different on a field trip day. And when we arrived at school, we'd be chilling in the classroom waiting for the rest of the class to arrive. And when they did, we'd leave to head over to board the school bus in a single filed line. Bro, and sometimes on these field trips, we'd be accompanied by a few of our classmates' moms, and they'd either be super chill or be straight up feds, bro. Like,
Bro.
they'd be on your ass at all.
I'll give it to them. Some of these niggas I went to school with, your mama is fine. If I knew what I knew back, if I knew now what I knew back then, if I knew back then what I know now, yo mama, nigga, yo mama. And Chad, I went to school with a bunch of like white. It was very mixed. It was either white, Hispanic, or black. That's mainly what the school was. But the Hispanic moms was doing the field trips. I'm talking ass with jeans on. You know how thick you gotta be to have ass with jeans on? Damn! Shit!
All times. Hey, get off that rock. Hey, don't wander off. Stay with the group. Stop talking too loud.
Shut up, bitch.
Like
Shut up,
basically
bitch.
anything you do, let alone breathe, these Karens will be on your ass like 12. Like goddamn, I didn't know I was playing GTA 5 with 5 stars on me at all times. I gotta go call Lester. Like just let me explore, man. I'm a young kid and we're like programmed to explore around and discover things. Stop being such a lame. Then let's just talk about how the school buses absolutely sucked. Now the buses, sometimes they'd be absolutely trashed with garbage everywhere, or sometimes they'd be somewhat clean if you're lucky. But most of the time, it was kinda disgusting, and don't get me started on the smell of the school buses. You know, maybe I just haven't adapted to the scent of school buses, cause throughout
Nah,
my
niggas
life,
was just
I've probably
stank on
only
that
been
bitch.
on a school bus around 10 to 15 times or so, because my house was close enough to the school so I could walk. But dude, I don't know how people handle the smell, cause it smells so artificial and it makes me sick to my stomach. Like it smells like a bunch of rubber mixed with gasoline or something. But bro, the amount of times I've been on a 3-hour bus ride somewhere and I'd have to deal with that stomach turning smell is way too.
Nah, you know what's worse, chat? You ever had to get on a bus after a game, especially after a loss? Niggas is stinky already, and then we lost. One of you musty bro, don't sit next to me, bro. I remember one time we had to bro, you know, anytime the guys team plays, the girls team plays, you know what I'm saying? Away games, whatever, right? I remember one time the boys' bus broke down, so we had to share the bus with the boys. Oh my god. There was woman and men musk all throughout that bitch. Just wafted through the fucking walkway, bro. I was like, oh my god. Like I was literally had my head halfway out the window most of the time, dog. I couldn't breathe. It was so stank. It was so stank. It was so stank. And what's bad is the women play first and then the men, and it is so late that you just gotta hop on a bus and go right after the game. So they was super stinky. They were fresh stink, and then the fucking women were lingering stink. It was just, oh, it was so bad. It was so bad. It was so bad. It was so bad.
Too many. And it doesn't help that you can't even open the windows, cause the teachers wouldn't allow you to.
Facts.
So we'd all just be suffocating in that chemical waste air. Like swear to god, if I could, I would have pulled up with the entire gas mask just to not smell any of that. You know, I feel bad for like the students who have like motion sickness, cause like not only are they just nauseous throughout the whole bus ride, but they also have to smell that stank ass air. Like someone needs to start bringing some Febreze to school so we could start spraying it all over the bus. And something else that always bothered me was the absence of seatbelts. Like if regular cars and trucks have them, why don't school buses also have them for extra safety? Like what if you get into a car crash and you won't have a seatbelt to prevent you from flying straight ahead? Like that's just a
Honestly,
one-way
I don't
ticket
think
to
you'll
the grave.
fall. I don't think you'll fly out the window. But your ass is definitely rolling in that bus get to rolling. You're cooked. Bro, that bus rolls, it's over for you. Bro, chat, y'all ever did the the school bus jump? I know what I'm talking about. Y'all ever did the school bus jump where you know the bus about to hit a fucking pothole and then you jump before that motherfucker hit the bro. I did that bitch. I flew into the next seat in front of me. Bro, that shit is fun though. It's fun. But I ain't laying right. It hurt a little bit, but you know what I'm saying?
Alright, but enough about school buses. We all know they suck. Let's talk about some of the best field trips I've gone on, starting with a farm. Now, everyone
went to
has
a
most
farm?
likely had that field trip where you guys went to a farm to spend the entire day, and they were just always
think
the
I
best.
went to one
I'm pretty
too.
sure I've gone to this farm like 4 times throughout the time I've been in school. It was just that good.
No,
now,
you
there
know
was a
what?
lot
I
to
went. Chat, I just had a fucking brain blast. I just revisited a core memory. I fucking visited a slave plantation, chat. I visited a slave plantation. Oh my God. Yes, bro. They took us in the slave quarters and everything. Yes, I was able to pick the cotton. I literally had cotton. I came home and I had cotton. I remember that shit. Bringing you to the spawn location is wild. Bro. Fuck you. But, yo, I can't, cause I remember they showed us how it was woven. They showed us the things to where they wove or weave or whatever the fuck they do with the cotton, get all the seeds out and shit, and then the shred and then like the things. I remember that shit. They showed us the slave quarters and oh my God. Why did they do that? Why did they do that? Like, I get it, history, but do you think you should take the black kids? I know you don't want to exclude them, but sometimes free labor, okay. And the thing is, chat, it probably was free labor. You know what? I don't think we could take the cotton home. Now that I think about it, yeah, we had the cotton on the trip and we were doing this while we were listening to them. We were doing this. We were stretching the cotton while we were doing this, but we couldn't take it home. You had to put your cotton in a basket. It was free labor. We were still picking. It's just a slower process. Oh my God. Oh my God. Why do they do that? They gotta stop doing that. Did the non-blacks pick it too? Yeah, everybody picked it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's a slave nowadays. Slave mind. You know what I'm saying? But, like, I feel like little black kids could have sat out, you know? We could have sat that one out. I just feel like, why did my mom sign off on that? Why did she sign off on that? I don't know. I don't care. It's just like, that shit just came back into my head, chat. That was something I forgot. Until he said a farm. I was like, have I ever been to a farm? I'm like, no. But then I was like, so where the fuck was I at? Where I was in the field and I was like, oh, slave. Yo, nah.
To do at the farm. We went picking strawberries and raspberries, and in the
must
fall
be
we
fucking
picked
nice.
gourds and pumpkins. Our whole class went on a ride on a tractor. We explored the cornfield maze they had.
Did I do that? I remember riding on a... Oh, I did do that too. I did a lot of fucking field trips as a kid. Yo, elementary school field trips, you get so many. Middle and high school, you get one, and that bitch is expensive as fuck. Now that I'm thinking about it, I remember riding the fucking hay rides and shit. It's very hard. It's very hard for me to remember elementary school trips because, like, you know what I'm saying? That's when you kind of on autopilot and your brain don't fully turn on yet. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to really dig back that deep with that memory. But, like, now that I remember being on a fucking... That's crazy.
We fed some farm animals, and I remember I tried to feed some chickens in a pen through the fence, and one of them bit my finger. Ah, what the fuck?
How bro felt after
Bro, that
biting my
chicken wanted the
shit.
smoke from these 7-year-old hands back in the day, man. And the best thing they had to be the haystacks. So they had this designated area where a bunch of haystacks were placed around, and the entirety of my class would start playing tag on the haystacks, which is probably up there in the top 10 most fun childhood experiences. Bro, thinking back now, running and hopping onto those haystacks in the nice summer weather was just enough for my 7-year-old self, man. Oh, how the
Damn.
times have changed now. The next field trip we'll talk about is an 1800s village. Now, this village was basically a recreation of what villages looked like back in the day. And we
Oh,
were
they ain't
also
take
learning
these niggas to no slave quarters, for sure. Okay. For sure. Makes sense, right?
about pioneers in class, so that's why we went on this field trip. And as a kid, it was really fun exploring the entire village and looking at the difference in architecture of the buildings, especially with my classmates. And they also had all the staff in the village dressed in the 1800s drip.
Yo, they was really... Oh my god, they was dressed as slaves. I'm remembering so much. Oh, this hurts. It hurts to remember this much. They were dressed as slave chat. The only thing they didn't do was blackface. But they had the little hats on, the fucking, with the aprons. Oh my god. Why did they do that? Oh god, why did they do that? Wade in the water? Okay, dude.
further immerse us in the realm of the 1800s. And man, people in the 1800s had no drip back in the day, let's keep it real. As like an elementary schooler, I had more drip. The village also had a little zoo where we'd watch some goats, cows, and chickens just chill. Oh yeah, and the lunches we'd have on these field trips were basic as hell, like a sandwich with a juice box and an apple. But hey, they still hit, man. Overall, a pretty good field trip. Now let's talk about one of my top 3 favorite field trips that came from school. And it was a science center. It was basically just a big science museum that had a lot of cool stuff and activities. I've been there like way too many times back in the day, cause the school just knew it was a banger field trip. And your boy was a big Bill Nye the Science Guy fan,
to one of those
so of course
as well.
it was gonna be a banger trip.
Hey, shout out that nigga Bill. Bill forever goated in my, you know what I'm saying? That's you know what I'm saying? That's a hometown homie, you know what I'm saying? Like Bill, it don't get no better than Bill, for sure. Get no better than Bill. Hold on.
Fans, so of course it was gonna be a banger trip.
Science rule. I thought it was science in school. Science rules. Same shit. Bill Nye that nigga, bro. Hood certified.
So much cool stuff, like a giant Rube Goldberg machine, a rainforest section with animals, and it actually had humidity like a real rainforest. They had a cave where I tried to scare strangers in and hide from my classmates. They had this tornado machine that required you to run around in circles to form a tornado.
What? That's cool as
This
fuck.
electric ball thing that looks like a Fortnite Rift to go. And of course, like every museum, they had a gift shop. But I could never buy anything because a young lad had no money.
Broke
So
as
I would just
fuck.
look at all the merchandise they sold while crying on the inside. Bro, I could keep naming stuff, but we'd be here all day. Hands down, definitely a top 3 field trip that I've experienced in my elementary days. It was a haven for all kids to explore, play, and learn about science, which was cool and fun. The next field trip I'll discuss is an overnight island school. Now, this one was goated. So basically, our whole class stayed overnight at a school on an island for the duration of 3 days. And we basically did...
Have y'all ever had an overnight field trip? I've never had an overnight field trip. That's where they kind of like draw the line, low-key. Never had an overnight one. Low-key, I was jealous of niggas that did. My mom could never. Yeah, my mom was not. I don't think they ever even offered that shit. My mom wasn't with the shits either, though. To be honest.
Did fun educational activities each day we were on the island. We shared dorms with another school, and you already know what happens when you see another school on a field trip.
Beefing.
Swear to God, it's on site.
Yo, we just said this. It's dead ass on site, bro. It's we gotta fight, bro. Cause even though I hate fucking school and I hate this school, you not better than me, nigga. You not better than us. We the better school. Prove it. Fucking prove it, nigga. Fight me, bitch.
Another school on a field trip. Swear to God, it's on site. At least that's what each student is thinking in their heads. Nothing would actually happen. So just to list a few activities, we went to a haunted lighthouse and the activity host told us scary stories. We played a game called Predator and Prey, which was basically Manhunt with a few extra steps. We biked around the island, we went hiking, they taught us some survival skills, we fed chickadees. We did like a photo scavenger hunt, which required us to use cameras that they gave us to take pictures of things. And we had a nice relaxing night walk through the beach. Bro, they even fed us breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like, let's go. Man, these were some good times. A funny thing that occurred on this field trip was when it was bedtime, we had to get back to our dorms and into bed. So I quickly went to brush my teeth and I headed back to my bed and up to the top bunk and I was ready to sleep. So I laid down and a few minutes later I hear one of my friends scream, "Good night, sexy people!" And everyone in the dorm was laughing like crazy. We were like in the 5th grade, alright? So that word was pretty funny. It was peak comedy. But yeah, he got in trouble for doing that obviously and had to talk to the teacher. Overall, island school was a W field trip and I will remember it for the rest of my life. By the time I reached high school, field trips literally became extinct, bro.
Trash,
like the dinosaurs.
bro. Facts.
They just never appeared again, which sucks because it meant I was in the boring ass classroom more often and we couldn't experience any fun high school field trips and make more fun memories. But you know, it is what it is at the end of the day. And the moral of this video is to cherish the memories you've made on your school field trips because eventually they'll stop and you'll miss them. So cherish them while you can. Comment down your favorite and most memorable field trips you went on. I'm out. Hey, if you're bored, go ahead and watch this video on screen. Anyways, I'm out.
W video though, you know what I'm saying? School field trips, man. You know what I'm saying? We took a nice little trip down memory lane for sure. For sure, get right on. You know what I'm saying? Damn, childhood. Gone.